Welcome back to Daytime here on Rogers TV. Great to have everybody with us. Our trivia's coming up. Colin from the Braywick Bistro is here. We're going to do some cooking in just a little bit here. And Trish Barbato is with us, an author, and she has a new book out too that we're going to be talking about. She's got a book signing coming up here in the city too. Inspire Your Career, Strategies for Success in Your First Years at Work. All right, Patricia, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
We were just chatting before, and we were talking about younger people. And I always think of my godson, Miles, who's 18 years old. And sometimes I think they have entitlement that he thinks that he is in. Is that part of what you tackle in your book?
Yeah, I do. There's that book is filled with advice for young people. I think there's a gap between you go to school, you get a lot of the academic perspective, and then you go into the workplace and there's a real disconnect for young people. And at some level, I think it's not their fault. It's not their fault that they have a sense of entitlement. They, they sort of grew up and that's all they know in a way. And in the work environment, I think that we can do a lot to help young people succeed, mentor them, coach them, give them opportunities. They're bright, they're enthusiastic. We can use that energy in our workplaces. It doesn't have to be the same old thing. There's a whole light in there that we can tackle.
And I think you've just touched on something, because sometimes when you see this, and I see it in my godson sometimes, I'm like, back in my day, my mother would just whack me across the head and say, look, Darren, this is what you're going to do.
Right.
But you can't do that now. So you really do have to find what makes them tick, eh?
Yeah, there's no recommendations for whacking people in the head.
No, I know.
None at all.
Absolutely
We're good.
Not. Absolutely not. What inspired you to write this book?
So I started doing mentoring sessions for young people. I have a couple of sisters who are quite a bit younger than I am, and it sort of started with them. I really wanted to motivate them to do more than they thought they could, to really work on their career. And then it went sort of to their friends, and they called two friends, and next thing you know, I was doing these mentoring sessions for young people just on my own time. And they always wondered, is there a book with some of these concepts and ideas? And I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for, so one thing led to another. And as a matter of fact, I'm Italian, so as most things happen in Italian families, around the kitchen table, we sort of decided, well, we'll just write a book.
And we're going to get a nice shot of this book here. While we're seeing it, there it is, Inspire Your Career. You're doing a book signing?
Yes,
Tell us all about that tomorrow.
Tomorrow in London at Station Park Inn. It'll be just beside Oscars, and we've got the Wellington Room, and so everyone's welcome. It's from 4 to 6, and I'll be signing books, and it'll be great fun.
I think it's great that you're doing mentoring. It's something that I think a lot of us growing up didn't really have, and even where I work over at the radio station at Fresh FM, we had a personality whiz in, and we had personality assessments done. I know it's a little bit different than mentoring, but you know what? It changed my life.
Yeah.
It did. I learned more about myself and how to react with other people. It was life-changing, and mentoring must do that too to young kids.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think we can all remember one person who told us something when we were young, and it sort of changed the course of our life. And often it's something about what we're good at, what our strength is, what they think that we have, what our potential is, and that is incredibly inspiring for people. And so I like to say to people, you can be that person. You can be that person that says that one sentence that sticks with a young person for the rest of their life.
Yeah, kudos to you. I'm so appreciative of what you're saying, because this was a year, so I was just over 40 when my life changed because of someone just said, this is you, this is this is that. It's not a right or a wrong, it's just how you are. And if we find the right, with these young people, that's the key,
But I would challenge, you could do that to someone, right? I can do it to someone in my workplaces. Take some young person aside and say, here's what I'm seeing about your personality, or about your strengths, or about your areas of improvement.
What if they don't want to listen? What if they aren't open to it?
Offer freely. I mean, you never know what's going to stick. And even, again, I think about my own personal experience. People told me lots of things, like I was good in accounting. I did not want to hear that. I ended up being an accountant. But, at the beginning, when people told me that was a good career path for me, I thought, oh, boring, yucky, I don't want to do it. But here we are.
It's funny, because I was told the opposite, that I wasn't good in accounting. So
and I'm glad you're doing this instead.
I know, that was like first year of college when I couldn't get into radio the first time. I thought I'd like to do accounting. Then one of my teachers says, Darren, I don't know if accounting's for you, with the mind wandering and the expressiveness. You started here in London, though. You're in Toronto now, but tell us about your first venture here in the city.
Yeah, so I articled here. So I'm a CA, a CGA, and I was with McNeil Johnson at the time. They're still around as McNeil Edmondson. And one of the really great things about being in an accounting is having all kinds of clients.
Yeah.
So I had manufacturing clients and retail clients and professional clients, and so you learn a lot from all the different industries and sectors, and every kind of person. I mean, you would get every walk of life, I think, and you would have to learn how to deal with it. The customer service perspective was very important.
Well, listen, Patricia, we're just about out of time. So tomorrow, what time again at
4 to
Station
6.
Park? 4 to 6?
Yep.
Okay, you're going to be there?
I am.
This available everywhere?
It is.
Chapters and
Chapters, Indigo, online, Amazon.
Well, it's amazing how we've now does it Chapters, Indigo, Amazon, online. Right? Like that's it. There
Just
you
go
go.
for it.
Well, listen, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for
and
having
enjoy
me.
your
I
time
really appreciate
back
it.
here in London.
Yeah, great.
Patricia Barbato, inspire your career strategies for success in your first years at work. Isn't that great? Mentorship, so good. Okay, quick break here. We're going to go to the daytime.